What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove, and I just finished disking this 1 acre field in the back of Piney Grove, and I had plowed it 2 weeks ago. And I noticed when I was disking that I had some real low areas, and I'm gonna walk to this one right here and hopefully the camera will show the different level. So from my perspective, I'm definitely lower than the camera, but you'll see that the color of this dirt right here is different than the dirt around it. And that's because when the bulldozers came in here and cleared this field, they burnt the piles of trees, and then what was left over that didn't burn, they dug a deep hole with the excavator and buried what was left. Well, when they did that, they didn't replace the topsoil on top of it, and I've got a couple of areas out here. There's one back there as well. There's another little one behind it. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. But what I find is that water will pool here, and I think that those stumps or whatever's in the bottom of that hole is decomposing because that's kind of sinking down a little bit. So I want to do two things today. I've got the BoxBlade on back of the tractor. I've got a 6-foot king cutter BoxBlade on back of my 39 horsepower tractor. And I want to take some of these high areas and pull them over top of this clay, kind of fill it in, and also mix that clay with some other dirt. But what I don't want to do is create more holes on the rest of the field. So let's get started. The reason that I plowed this was to loosen up the soil, and I hate that I have to drive over it with the tractor and pack it, but I think it's going to help a little because I already see that that hole's filled in with some of this other soil. This is really working out better than I thought. I've almost got that hole filled in. All right guys, it's not perfect, but it is much better than even I imagined it could be. There's still some bumps out there that I think the tiller will kind of smooth out, but we've covered up that clay, filled in that hole a little bit, and I don't think that's gonna hold water like it used to. Got that one to do, that orange one there. So I'm gonna take the tractor and just push with the BoxBlade over top of it. Off camera, I did some pushing with the BoxBlade, and that actually pushed the dirt better, and that didn't dig in and create ruts and make it worse. So I think pushing's better. All right, let's see what we can do with this hole right here. I've been doing a little work off camera, and I got that graded a little bit more. That's the first hole, and right here is the second hole. And the first thing that you can tell is that you don't see that orange clay anymore. And I was a little bit worried about messing up my soil profile here, but then I remembered I just plowed. So my topsoil is actually about 6 inches under. So the soil that I'm moving and stirring around now was actually, 6 or 8 inches under before. So it's good that I mix this. I'm taking some of this sand from this hill over here, putting it on top of that clay, and having that mixture of soil will just help us going forward as we try to grow plants back here. So it's pretty flat, it's not perfect, but once I run the tiller over it, you'll never be able to see these little hills and stuff that I left here. I got one more place left to work on, and that's right there. And that one's pretty deep. I'd say that's a good foot deep right there where you see that orange clay. I'll drag some of this dirt from the front of the tractor there, and there's a little hill between here and the cedar tree. I'll bring that hill to the left and fill in that hole right there. All right, the field is done and ready for planting and final tilling. I was a little skeptical about doing this, but I'm sure glad I did it. Now I won't have those little pockets that are holding water, and they also weren't producing very well. I could get stuff to grow there, but not very good. So don't be scared to try something new. But that's gonna do it for today's video. So until the next one, remember, life's short, tractor hard. PG out.